Hi, how are you? Got your cup of tea? Nope. Okay, just press pause. Go and make yourself something nice and cozy. I'll wait. You're back. Hi. This morning I was up and about quite early, and I was thinking about stories. I've been working with a lovely lady, Jo, who is a teacher of teachers with Colour Mirrors, and I've decided that it's something that I've been drawn to for probably about 2 years now, since I settled in helping with the shop on a regular basis. And I've decided to take up the challenge of learning something new. And it's really inspiring, and it's taught me an awful lot. But one of the things that I've been focusing on is the amount of stories that I tell. And one of the stories that I'm thinking about more and more often is about the story of my life. One of the reasons that I decided to actually start the YouTube channel is to help and guide and inspire others, like-minded women who have stories that either need to let them go or to turn them around and make positivity and arc at me. I have got some notes here so that I don't start waffling and go off track. So basically my story started with diabetes around 1999, and what happened was my partner then, or my husband then, and I decided that we were going to buy a property, and I had to have a medical. And I was large. I was in the 20 stone mark. My highest weight was 24 stone, and I was fortunate over the years to be able to lose quite a bit of that, which is another story. But being diagnosed through that medical of having type 2 diabetes came as a bit of a shock, but it helped me understand where I was going and why I was feeling like I was feeling, where I was tired, lethargic. I didn't want to be here, basically. My body and my feet, bless them, didn't want to carry me anymore, and I found it really, really difficult. So I was finding it that my main struggle and my main difficulty was to be on the planet, you know, to go through the way that life was taking me was becoming more and more difficult. So I was realising, and what I've learned from working with Colour Mirrors, and I'm just going to read a sentence here: you can't create heaven on earth if your wounds are in charge. And that's one of the things that I realised, that the stories I was telling, I was the victim. Why me? And, you know, the POMS, a lot of people, and I call it, is poor old me syndrome. And you can be in that for years, and it can wreck your life if you don't actually grab hold of it. And I started to listen to language a lot more. Things like, I hear people saying, my fibromyalgia, my diabetes, my this, my that. I won't take ownership because it doesn't belong to me. It's something that's happened to me. And I'm not sitting here preaching, saying that you should do this and you should do that. You'll hear me say that I'm 62, and it's taken me a long, long time to come to grips with it. And the reason that this has happened is really because of the spiritual side. The divine side has had quite a bit of influence. Yes, I've been somebody that used to go to church on a regular basis. When I was a lot younger, Mum and Dad would send us, there's five of us siblings, and we'd live within walking distance of the church, and we used to go to Sunday school. It was a regular occurrence. It was part of the tradition of what we did. So I understand, you know, God, Jesus, all that sort of thing. But I also understand tarot and spirit and things like that because of my own experiences. My first experience of spirit was when I was about 7 years old. I was 7 years old. And I was at my mum's, my nan, with my granddad. And I was in the middle of a dream where my grandpa, which is my dad's dad, his greenhouse had fallen down. And it wasn't a pleasant dream. And I was woken from that dream with a knock on my nan's door. And it was Mum and Dad. And they'd come to ask Nan to keep me a bit longer because Grandpa had died. And I found out a few days after that his greenhouse had fallen down the night he died. So, you know, you might say that was, what do you call it? Coincidence, you know, but a lot of other things started to happen to me as I was growing. And I didn't really acknowledge any of this until I was probably about 16. And then when I was around 18, I went to a spiritualist church. And of course, Mum and Dad used to think that I was going to a place where people wore cloaks and hoods and things like that. But it wasn't. It was a Christian spiritualist church where I went and I witnessed a lot of people have that communication with people that had passed. And over the years, I began to learn that it was energy, the energy of us that we have around us and who we are, our auras, our thoughts, and whatever we give out from ourselves that's not part of the material still lives. It continues to live on, and there's a lot of evidence of that in my life and throughout my life. So what I actually learned was that working with our shadow allows our divine light to shine. And this again has come through the learning of colour mirrors. So the aim for me was to leave the victimhood behind and then start to learn and master everything else moving forward. So my aim and my mission is to inspire and uplift others that are going through what I've been through. So it's one of those things like, how can I explain it? Okay. For about the last 3 years, I kept getting this thing about 65. And you know when something plagues you and it's in your head and you can't get rid of it. And one day I decided, right, okay, I'm listening. I've decided, you know, what's this 65 about? And the thoughts that would drop in would be, well, your granddad's sister died when she was 65. And Granddad always used to say that, well, it's her own fault. She always used to eat cakes and, you know, she had diabetes and she shouldn't have been doing that. And I thought, well, I eat cakes. I eat a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be eating. And I've known for years that I shouldn't be eating bits and pieces that, that actually raise your blood sugar levels. But my attitude was, or my belief was, because I'm on the medication will sort it out. You know, I don't need to do anything. And then the other thing was, like, my Auntie Doreen, bless her, died when she was 63. She had a heart attack. And that's my dad's sister. My dad has diabetes. She was 5 years older than me. I had a heart attack when I was 58. So 4 years ago now, and I've had 2 stents fitted. The surgeon told me that I was probably more healthier now walking around with the 2 stents than probably about 30 to 50% of the population. So that made me feel a lot better, but I was still in that place until the 4th of June this year, when I was practically being told, my inner guidance was telling me, if you don't buck your ideas up, Donna, you're not going to be around to reach 65 or even to live past 65. So I've mentioned this before somewhere. I started wild swimming June of last year, and I met a lovely lady called Penny, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank her. She told me her story about having cancer, breast cancer, and having to have the operation and having one removed, and then to be told that it had moved into her bones. And she's done a lot of research around how the body works, how the gut works and how the cells work and all that sort of thing. And she said that she wanted to help me. And she has. and she continues to do so. And she is that person that is actually shouting at me, I'm here. So I decided that I was going to have a go at doing carnivore. It doesn't suit everybody and it's not for everybody, and I don't actually feel that it's totally for me. So keto goes along with it, and she gave me 3 sheets, and it was a yellow sheet. Is it a yellow sheet? No, it was a amber sheet, a red sheet and a green sheet. So I had to stay off of the red and I had to just focus on the green sheet, and it was the Banting method. So that's where I started, and it was by Mr. Banting, this theory about what works for your body and what doesn't work for your body. And they're listed, and in the book it actually talks about what the red stuff does to your body, basically, which is your pastas, your breads and your cakes and everything. And over the years, I'm sort of drifting a bit, I apologise. I went on Lighter Life a lot of years ago and I lost 7.5 stone. So that's when I actually came down from 24 stone. And then I gradually put some of it, about 3 stone of that back on. So I was always hovering between 18 and 19 stone. So in June 4th, I was 19 stone. And I decided to do the carnivore and keto. And within 3 months, I'd lost 3 stone. So I wasn't trying to lose weight. It wasn't a weight loss program. It was actually listening to my body, giving my body what it needed rather than feeding it rubbish and keeping myself sick. So I'm understanding a lot more about diabetes. I think I've mentioned it before somewhere, about Jason Fung, F-U-N-G. He's a doctor and he's written a book called The Diabetic Code. And I've read that, I've watched his videos on YouTube, and I'm a very visual person, so I've actually been able to see how that is working and how it works in your body. So in my mind, I feel that if I can tell you my story, then it would help you to maybe listen and start looking at your story and start dealing with your shadows, allowing that divine light to come in so that you can shine and help others as well through what you're doing. There's been many lies told to us over the years, and when you start to actually settle into your way of being instead of your way of doing, then life becomes so much easier. And I'm not saying that it's easy to be in the place that I'm in at the moment. I've fallen off the wagon. I've been tempted by Danish pastry, biscuits, a bar of chocolate. I've gone back down there, and I kick myself because I think that I'm undoing all the good that I've done. But your body is really forgiving. It's not like a car that if you've got an unleaded petrol car and you put diesel in it, you totally mess up the engine fully, and somebody has to come along and sort it out. Whereas our body is miraculous in the things that it can do. But one of the things that it does is that if you're going to actually feed it what it doesn't need, then things start to grow. With diabetes, if you have diabetes, if you're dealing with that, you may have skin tags. It's a growth that you get that your body's reacting to because of what it doesn't want inside of you. If you think about the 70 odd trillion cells that we've got, each one of those, if you eat foods that are fried in seed oils, each individual cell, trillions of cells, get coated in it, and then the nutrients and everything that you put into your body can't reach the places that it needs to reach. There's a lot to learn and a lot to understand, and if you don't want to do the research, then it's entirely up to you. But at least look at Jason Fung's video around diabetes. I'm not medically qualified to actually talk about it in the way that you should do this and you should do that. No, I'm just saying that I experience diabetes in a way that you probably don't, We're all individual. Our bodies are totally different. I might not be able to tolerate dairy. You might be able to tolerate dairy. My husband is borderline diabetic, and he can eat something and his blood sugars can read, say, 6.8. I could eat the same thing and my blood sugar levels might read 18.6. So we are all different, and when you acknowledge you for you, and when you deal with what you can cope with, then your life becomes a lot easier. And I think habits have been really, really hard for us to break. But, you know, a little and often of doing and making changes goes a long way. So today, really, I started with saying that I wanted to talk to you about stories. What story are you telling yourself? How many stories have you got going around that actually put you into victimhood, that's actually keeping you in those dark places? Light, divine light, love. You might hear it a lot, but I've heard it all my life and I didn't get it, and now I do. So that's what I want to share with you today. What stories, I'm going back to it again, what stories are you telling yourself that needn't be there? And again, you know, I've been a people pleaser all my life. I don't do that anymore. I look at somebody and I say, this is their story. And then I let it go. And when you let it go, that's another bit of darkness that's been dropped and the light has been allowed to shine through. I'm getting older. I'm getting wrinkly. And I also know that being 3 stone lighter, just by changing my habits and having a different attitude around food, I feed my body what it needs. So this is where I am at the moment. So until the next time, until the next story, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. And if you've got any questions, and if there's anything that you want to know about how I got here, then leave a comment and I'll get back to you. I look at all of them and I will answer them all too. So have a great day. And it's, what are we? I haven't even looked outside yet, so I don't even know if it's raining. I can sense that it's overcast and it's colder here in the Northern Hemisphere. And we're now back into GMT. So I'm going to love you and leave you because I need to go to work. And enjoy the rest of your tea or coffee, or whatever beverage that you're drinking. And I'll speak to you again soon. Lots of love from Auntie Donna. Bye for now.